What's up, boys and girls? It's AJ again. This is my second video. I'm not sure what video number. I will stop telling you what video number it is, but we're going to switch over to Final Fantasy XI Online on the private server Eden. And I'm almost not sure why I'm doing this, because I'm actually quite excited. I believe in December there's a new progression server, Final Fantasy Online, if I know correctly, if I read correctly, called Horizon, which I'm really excited about. Give that a try. Right now, just created a new character. And we're going to start off in Bastok as a Yume. Full disclosure, I do have, I believe, 2 other characters on Eden. I had played a few years back when it was actually called Kupo, and have a couple of 75s, quite a bit of, gear and gil, but we're not going to be using that on this character. And I recorded the character creation part and the intro movie, but the volume was just out of control. The music is just so loud. So I didn't want to leave that in, so started a new video. And the music is still quite a bit louder than I'd like. Inventory sort on. Invert my third-person camera. And just to show, we have the basic beginner items. We have no levels, and we have no, you have 10 gil. I'm not sure if it's changed. Let's take a look. I know that Eden used to give you a free Mog wardrobe to begin with, and maybe they do not anymore. Well, that's new. Or that was Kupo who gave you the free Mog wardrobe when you first started. Alright. Well, since we started off in Bastok and we're either a Yume or a Galka, we get the Bastokin ring, which is the first stat increase that you get in the game. 1 dex, 1 vite, that's pretty good. And I'd have to say, out of every game that I've played in my life, Final Fantasy XI I've probably spent the most hours in. I would venture to guess it would be playtime in the years, probably 2 years, like if you went by day. My retail character I started off in, I believe, 2002. I had a roommate. The only time in my life where I had a roommate was after I left the military. I was a little bit broke and got some high school friends together, and we rented a house. 5 guys in a 3-bedroom house wasn't exactly ideal living conditions, and never want a roommate again after that. But I had a PS2, and one of my roommates really enjoyed the Final Fantasy franchise as I did. I had started with Final Fantasy VII and played 8, 9, and 10. I never played X2 or or tend to, even though I bought it. I think I still have the game in its sealed package right now. I just never played it. Anyway, the roommate decided he was going to spring for the PlayStation 2 version, which was it came with a hard disk drive that you had to screw in the back of the old PlayStation 2, and ran an Ethernet cord in there, and we had no idea that to be any kind of functioning person in Final Fantasy XI, we needed to get a keyboard to go with the PlayStation version, because trying to type, I believe, I'm not even sure if you could pull it up on the PC version, but you would have to use the pointer and just pick out, your letters from a letter bank, and trying to talk to anybody like that was just impossible. The first thing that you're going to want to do if you've never played Final Fantasy XI, and if you've never played Final Fantasy XI, you're probably not watching this video. You're probably watching this video if you have nostalgia for it. But in the case that you're seeing this video and you have never played, you're definitely going to want to find in your city a guard that has a designation after the comma of I am, or just a different variation of letters, because they could give you your signet, and your signet you get just by asking for it. Now, the importance of the signet is that you're going to be earning conquest points, and conquest points are spent, especially early on in the game, for some gear that is going to last you for quite a while, and for different characters, especially when you first start the game and you start leveling up. Now, let's see if I can't find the way to get the timers to show. Alright, there we go. And that'll tell us how long 4 hours for our signet. The higher your rank becomes, the longer that'll last, and it's just a quality of life item, so that you don't have to always go back and request a new signet. My station is to help along those new to the life of an adventurer. I specialize in the types of fundamental knowledge for success in endeavors, as well as related to blah blah blah. With my aid, I can rest assured first steps of an adventurer's path will not go astray. Should you still consider yourself a newcomer, I would highly recommend that you make full use of my services. This is my permanent posting. Never leave. Remember it well. Whenever you need a hand with anything at all, don't hesitate to come calling. And it would be nice if you could just ask for money. Can I have some money to buy some gear? Now, once you have your signet in place, you can come outside and kill some monsters, and that will increase your conquest points, which you could find in this menu right here. And as we can see, we have 0 conquest points. It does look like Bastok is in first place, which does affect the items that you can receive. go ahead and check enemies. In this battle screen, you can either pick attack, magic, abilities. There's no trusts in Eden's private server. But you should always go down here and check your enemy before you're fighting, especially if you're fighting it solo, because if it's tough, it's going to probably kick your butt. And I think I just left out the beginning part. We're starting off as a warrior. Most jobs, if you're going to do melee, can really benefit from starting with the warrior job, as you'll end up using that as a sub job. So I always find it useful to, when I start a new character, to start as a warrior. Then you'll get a sword and not a dagger, which is definitely beneficial. You don't want to start off with a red mage or a thief and get the knife or dagger, because the weapon skills aren't good. And it looks like there must be another new player around here, because everything is wiped out. That was very nice of you. What level? You're a level 9. Okay, you're a level 9 killing. Okay. I don't know if that's the new meta of being level 9 and killing starter level mobs, but okay. Doesn't make for the most interesting of gameplay for someone to run around and do nothing. Let's go ahead and maybe try a different little zone. And back in the day when this came out, it really did take a hold of me, this game. I remember I was working a pretty cruddy job at the time, and all I thought about when I was at work for 8-9 hours a day was getting home and plugging this in and playing this. I really didn't care about anything else in life. I just wanted to get back home and play this. It was just so different from anything I'd played, and I believe I cannot for the life of me remember if this was the first MMO that I played or if it was City of Heroes. So it was either this or City of Heroes. I want to say it was Final Fantasy XI, and I got frustrated right around level 40. Because at that time, it was probably the busiest the game has ever been in the life of the game, and I just couldn't get a party. A lot of people were, gear checking you. Oh, you don't have X gear, then you're not going to come. We're not going to invite you to that party. You need to have 2 sniper rings plus 1, or we're not going to invite you. And at that time, it was impossible to get that. It was so expensive. As you can see, it is the Halloween event right now, and we will take advantage of that. Probably not today, but we definitely will take advantage of that to at least get some trick and treat staff 2s. I believe they both, one has a warp effect for, I think it's once every day, real life day, and then the other one is a 10 item use, so you'd use it 10 times. But definitely come in handy. Saves you a warp scroll or a charge on your warp cudgel once you get to a higher level. And definitely want to say that I may pronounce things differently than everybody else because there haven't been many Final Fantasy XI YouTubers that I've sat down and watched, but the ones that I did check out, they pronounced things totally different than I had, and it wasn't in the stream of consciousness, the Final Fantasy XI terminology. You can just, like WoW was everywhere. Once WoW was major, you could talk to anybody about Elwyn Forest and be like, oh, Elwyn Forest. Yeah, I know Elwyn Forest. Final Fantasy XI was more... if you met somebody that also played it, you were kind of baffled and shocked. I thought I was the only one. So I'm not even sure how long we've been playing, but we've done nothing. Again, very exciting gameplay. But we will ramp up. And I'm not sure what, again, this is a kind of a test run to go through to see if I really kind of remember what I'm doing with Final Fantasy. It's been such a long time. I haven't touched this in maybe 2 years. So, again, I'm very excited about giving Horizon a try once that comes out in December. So I might just play this character for a month and a half and call it quits and start up a new one. Oh yeah, and the Signet also allows you to gather crystals. I forgot about that. You will not get crystals from monsters if you do not have your Signet on. And for its day, I still am pretty amazed at the graphics. I know they're not great. Definitely know they're not great, but for this game coming out, I believe it came out in Japan in 2000 or 2001, it still looks, to me, just like so much more polished and beautiful than WoW. Just WoW just looks so, cartoony. You look at somebody's... I always look at their hands. You look at somebody's hands in WoW, and I swear it looks like somebody just copy and pasted, like, a bunch of sausages to, like, a hand, and those are the fingers. Here, these look like human hands. It looks like this guy's wearing gloves. It looks like he's a human wearing gloves. Jeez, and WoW. I don't know. You look at Arthas, and Arthas has got... like in those videos, it's like his hands are, he's got kielbasa for fingers. Each one's a foot-long kielbasa. And I remember that it was always, when I first started WoW, when I first started WoW, I hated it. I was like, this looks like a child's game. And I believe I played I played WoW for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and it was around the time I was playing Final Fantasy XI still, and played WoW for 2 hours and shelved it. I was pissed off I bought it. I was waste of time and money. Go back to Final Fantasy. And I'm going to have to keep an eye out on global chat because we don't want anything nasty going along in my videos, and most people that shout in world chat are in private servers are not known for their manners, I'd say. Shouting for a party in world chat that's obviously fine. It's just the people that seem to live there and comment on everything. So, everybody look at me type of people. Says the person who is uploading a video to YouTube. Now, again, if you've never played Final Fantasy, right here, you have to rest, and the rest will stop you from doing any other actions, and this is the only way that you can replenish your health or your magic or mana. In the bottom right corner, you can see here I have 35 health right now. Now it's 46. So it goes very, very slow. And this game is very, very slow. This is... you probably shouldn't try to join, and this is, again, if you've never played Final Fantasy XI and never seen anybody play Final Fantasy XI, this is an MMO in the truest sense, where after level, 11 or 12, you're not going to get very far unless you join a party, and a party's, I believe, 6 people in Final Fantasy, not 5 like in WoW. And you're going to have to go to an XP camp and spend hours upon hours grinding. You'll probably see that on this character on Eden and the future character on Horizon when that comes out. All of these mobs that I've killed so far, I've only gotten 100 conquest points. We are going to need a few thousand. You're going to want an XP ring, which will bump your XP up. I believe it's 50% for a certain set amount of XP. And the reason that I chose Bastok as a starting zone, I actually do not love Bastok as a starting zone. But the reason that I chose it is because it has pretty good conquest point items that you could buy on the low end, and that'll help you gear up your your character going forward, because you're gonna have to. Again, this game, not like WoW or many other MMOs that you play out there. You have one character, and that one character can do every job in the game, every class, every job. So, and it's one of those things where you better like the way you created your character, otherwise you're gonna waste a lot of time. This is the model that I used back in 2002. And that was, geez, let me see if I can remember. I believe that was that the, I think it was the Sylph. I'm not sure if it's pronounced, if it's spelled Sylph or Sliff server. And that was I had a Yume, and my first job to 75, which is the max level, was a Dragoon. And this was before Treasures of Ot Urgan. And the importance of that is that Dragoon was considered a really bad job. And then once that expansion, Treasures of Ot Urgan, came out, it was considered a really good job because it had dealt piercing damage, and that was important. So I leveled a job, and people would laugh at you. I think there was the meme back then was just LOL DRG, which was, you know, the lol Dragoon. But then, yep, Ot Urgan came out, I think 05, 06 maybe? Probably 06. And yeah, no, everybody was like, oh, it's a great job. Everybody should play this job, it's amazing. And eventually that character, my first character, that was a 75 Dragoon. Then I believe I went and got it to a 75 Paladin, then 75 Samurai next, and then 75 Warrior. I'm trying to think. I know that I had started the ninja. I think I want to say like my ninja, it was right around the time I quit. I got it to 73, and I was just so done with it that I was, nope, can't do anymore. And then from there, there's just been many iterations of private servers that I've played on. I've played on Nisomi. I've played on Kupu, which is now Eden. I'm playing on Eden now. I think I've played on Wings, and I believe maybe one more. And I've pretty much got, I want to say that I've got every melee job to 75 at one point or another on one character. And I'm trying to think, I'm not sure if I remember the Bastok missions. The most recent server that I played on Final Fantasy. I don't remember what server it was, but I think I went Sandoria. Sandoria is normally my go-to. I know just about every quest in Sandoria. I know the rank mission from 1 to probably, what, 6 or 7, pretty much by heart. Can't say that for Bastok. So that should be fun learning again. And again, this is early 2000s MMO design. We are just going to grind. We're going to grind and grind and grind. What did we just dinged 3. And the points are getting bigger to level up. But you hear it a lot, and from experience you know that the fastest way to level up is by doing that, what that level 9 was doing in that last zone in South Gustenberg, and that's just to grind on low-level enemies. And if we look here at 2016, you can see that we learned Fast Blade. Fast Blade is one of our first weapon skills, which is pretty awesome because that's going to deal a lot of damage, get us out of a jam. If an enemy's hitting us pretty hard, we could pull that out. Okay, with our first weapon skill, we can make our first macro. And let's go to, let's say 15. And let's go to 5. We might be a warrior. We'll just call that warrior. And well, let's try all 7. Fast Blade. And again, this gives me slight anxiety when it comes to remembering creating macros with no keyboard on the PS2 when that first came out. So for this macro, you're gonna be very basic because we have no gear to swap out. We have nothing. We have no abilities that we have to time before we do it. So we're just gonna do a /WS quotation mark Fast Blade, and we're gonna put a little T in there for the target. If you're gonna try to do a macro that targeted yourself, you'd want to put me in there instead of T, but I'm sure we'll get there when we get there. Shoot, I had those swapped. Oh, right, there we go. And maybe on the next mob we will take a look at the animation for our Fast Blade. That's another thing that, especially in the upper levels, when you see the animations for these weapon skills, they are night and day, in my opinion, ahead of, you know, anything that World of Warcraft was doing at the same time and even after this came out. What was it? I forget. What is that? Heroic Strike. I remember seeing for the first time seeing Heroic Strike animation in WoW, and I just didn't understand it. It was like a spinning backhand, and it just looked silly. It looked like, why would you do this in combat? If you did that move in combat in real life, you would just get, you know, somebody would just murder you. But yeah, some of the multi-hit weapon skills, and again, for a game from 2001, 2002, it's pretty amazing, in my opinion at least. I think we're gonna change it. Just noticed the window is this default window setting, which I don't love. Windows. I think we will stick with this one for now. A little bit easier on the eyes. And I'll have to fool around. I just installed the Eden and Ashita, so I have to fool around and see if I can get my UI to be a little bit nicer and bigger. Alright, level 4. I believe level 5 is when we get Provoke, which will be... And I'm sure that hardcore people in the game will be in disagreement, but for basic speaking terms, Provoke is your main hate-getting and hate-keeping skill. It's very different than WoW. You're gonna wanna, you know, in most cases, you know, if you're a paladin, you might want to hit a flash and then a provoke. But if you're playing in a party, you're gonna wanna, when a mob is pulled to you, you're gonna want to provoke first. I believe it's a 30-second cooldown. And after that, after the 30 seconds, you're not going to want to provoke if you still have the monster's attention. But chances are DD or a healer might have ripped it off from you, so... Just basic stuff. basic MMO stuff that I'm sure everybody here that's watching this will know. But as much as I love World of Warcraft right now, the Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and I'll continue to play that too when I have time. This just feels like home to me. I don't know. I mean, I understand that the beginning of this is very slow. I'm sure that in Let's Plays in the future, especially for your first job with no sub job, people would love to see you when you hit 14, like level 14 and on. That'll be exciting. The 1 through 12 grind that will be happening is probably not the most exciting content. But then again, as I've said before, and I'll probably keep on saying over and over again, I'm not a algorithm guy. I'm not going to be told, hey, you know, you might enjoy playing Final Fantasy, but you get a lot more views if you play Fortnite. I don't care. And I just saw a shout. Where'd it go? A shout from Cinema Roll. Looking for a party. Level 10 warrior. More than likely, he's just sick of the grind. Because even though it is possible, and some people love it, getting a party in the dunes before level 12, I don't do it. I think that you could probably, even though you just grind it for probably hours to get to level 10, that you can make some pretty good money and gear yourself up before you start partying if you wait till level 12. Just my opinion though. I probably won't go for an XP party before level 12 myself, if not 14. And one of the reasons that I'd say I'm excited about the Horizon project, and it might be a myth, it might not, but just the economy is nicer on a new server. Eden, I'm sure if I went to the auction house, it would just be like almost unusable for somebody brand new. Leaping Boots, or probably, I'm gonna guess their Leaping Boots are, who knows, way out of reach. On a new server, maybe somebody, you know, rushes to level 10, kills Leaping Lizzie, and sells them for 50k, because that's a lot of money, and you could probably get 50k in a couple of days. Whereas if you're a level 4 warrior without a sub job, you have 60 gil right now, and it's probably not feasible for you to get a million or two for maybe months, if not years. And though you can definitely play this game with a mouse and a keyboard, I do play with a gamepad controller. And in the years since I found out that that Final Fantasy XI had private servers, because I had no idea for the longest time, I've probably gone through, geez, 5 or 6 controllers. And it's not that I'm throwing them against the wall or doing anything stupid with them. It just always just seemed to, after, I think I was reading a thing on maybe Logitech where they have a button count. This controller is good for 1 million button clicks. And so after spending just silly amounts of money, had the wireless Logitech for the longest time. That was a ton of money. Then I had the wired Logitech, which was also probably around 30 bucks for the wired, and maybe 50, 45 for the wireless. I started buying these cheapo knockoff controllers, and I'll be honest, they end up being better and longer lasting than Logitech's. It's I don't know. We'll go back to those again. Alright, let's take a look at what do I have in terms of items that I could... Wow, I have no items that I can sell. Stack of wind crystals. Not looking good here, folks. I'll have to go do some research and find out some Bastok and quests that I could do for some money, and hopefully have enough money to grab a better weapon at level 10, 12? So, yeah, as I said earlier in the video, I really do think that going warrior, even if you're in a, I mean, unless you're only going to do mages, but even if you do just specifically mages, you also might want the warrior to, well, you're going to need the warrior to level a ninja sub-job if you're going to do like a red mage ninja, which is pretty powerful. So that's actually kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do, either here or on Horizon, is red mage. I've never gotten any mage to 75, and I would actually really like to give red mage a try. If you are a good red mage, you are pretty much godly. Good red mage can solo content that, you know, a 5-man team couldn't do. And again, that's a good red mage. And for me, I think the highest red mage I've ever leveled was 49? Maybe 50? So, very, very little experience with that, but looks fun. I think we're gonna try to get to level 5 and then call it an episode. Maybe do another one later. This hornet does not want to be hit. And I don't blame him. Some guy with a douchey hairstyle like this was coming after me with a sword. I wouldn't want to get hit with it either. Just under an hour, I think. Good place to stop. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the first 5 levels of Final Fantasy XI online on the Eden server. And I am sure I'll be back to this character. I guess another day, or later on this evening, who knows. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy.